All right, welcome to 13.1 day 2. Here is your problem of the day. We are going to first start by splitting our problem in half. And there's a negative, we have to deal with these parentheses, and there's a negative on the outside. That negative, there's also a 1 by that negative. That negative 1 needs to be distributed to both terms on the inside. So we have to multiply negative 1 to negative m and negative 1 times 2. So negative 1 times negative m, so 1 times anything is just going to be 1. So I'm going to bring down that 4 because I'm not going to touch it. 1 times m is just m, and then a negative times a negative is a positive, so it's going to be a positive n. Then we have negative 1 times 2. 1 times 2 is going to give us just 2, and a negative times a positive gets us a negative. So we're left with 4 equals m minus 2. Now we got to get m all by itself. So we are going to make a zero pair with that negative 2. I'm going to add 2. Negative 2, you have a negative 2 plus positive 2 gets you 0. We're going to add 2 over here because we do what we did on one side, we do the other side. 4 plus 2 gets us 6 equals m. And that's it. All done. All right. Take this time to do your problem of the day on Nearpod. So go on over to Nearpod and take some time to finish this. Okay, welcome back. Here is your problem of the day. Hopefully you remembered from my problem that there's a 1 next to that negative and you had to multiply that one to both terms on the inside. So bring down that 7 equals negative 1 times k. 1 times k gets you k. A negative times a negative gets you a positive. So that's just going to be a positive k. Negative 1 times 8, or just 1 times 8 gets us 8. And a negative times a positive gets us a negative. So now we're left with 7 equals k minus 8. Last one, we got to get rid of this constant near the variable, a zero pair. We make a zero pair with negative 8. It's also going to be 8, but instead of negative, it's going to be positive. We're going to add 8 to both sides. Those go away. We are left with k equals 7 plus 8 gets us 15. Final answer. Okay, hopefully this is getting easier for you. This is day 2 this week of working on these types of problems. We are going to continue to solve for the volume of a cylinder. Except today it is going to look a little different because there are going to be word problems. So we're going to set up the formula. Then we're going to substitute values, and then we're going to solve for the volume. Remember, or if anyone can remember, did anyone remember what the formula is? Hopefully you got it. It was volume equals pi times radius squared times height. So hopefully you remembered that. So we're going to use that all day today. Here's my first example. It says a cylindrical waterfall biscuit, a wafer biscuit, a cylindrical wafer biscuit is filled with chocolate. If the inner radius is 4.5 millimeters and the waterfall is 10.3 millimeters long, what will be the volume of the chocolate? Remember, we need radius, and in this problem, they said radius. So that is a good clue there that this is what we want in our equation. We want the R word. We want radius. We don't want diameter. So we're just going to take that 4.5 for what it is, and we're going to plug all these into the formula. So I got volume equals pi. Remember, pi is 3.14 times radius. It says the radius is 4.5. So I got 4.5 squared times the height. How tall is this wafer biscuit? It is 10.3 millimeters long. So we're going to multiply by 10.3. Last, remember, we like to get rid of, to solve the exponent first, just so we can put all this in the calculator without any issues. So volume equals 3.14 times 4.5 squared. Get that handy dandy calculator. And we're going to do 4.5 squared gets us 20.25. So 20.25 times 10.3. Okay, let's shove all of this in the calculator and it's going to get our final answer, 3.14. I can actually leave this here, times 3.14 times 10.3 equals 654 points, where'd it go? 92, 93, up to you. And there you have it, folks, 654.93. That is our final answer. Let's try another one. These other ones are on your Nearpod, so if you're on Nearpod right now, take your time, go get this done. We'll do this together. If you're watching this on your own, then you go watch us do this. Actually, I want to do this one. Okay, it says a swimming pool with a cylindrical base has a diameter of 21 feet and a depth of 5 feet. Find the volume of the pool. So remember our formula, volume equals pi times r squared times height. Remember, we need radius. So pi, we always know pi. So v equals 3.14 times, I like to make these kind of big so they don't look like the decimals, times the radius squared times the height. And the depth or the height of the pool is 5. So we need the radius. Remember, the radius is half a circle. Diameter is a full circle. Remember the across. Let's take this one. Remember, this is radius. This is diameter. So they gave us the diameter is 21 feet, but a radius is half the diameter. So I need half of 21. So let's get our calculator. We're going to do 21 divided by 2 gets us 10.5. So our radius is 10.5. Sorry, 10.5 squared. Okay, let's solve that exponent before we go on and show everything in the calculator. Volume equals 3.14 times 10.5 squared. So actually I already have it in the calculator. I'm just going to press the squared button. Gets us 110.25 times 5. All right, let's shove all this in the calculator. So I got 3.14 times 110.25 times 5 equals, there's my answer, 1,730. Value 1,730 point, what, point 92 or 93? We'll do 93 to round up. And there you have it, folks. That is it. So I just showed you an example where it says diameter, and I showed you an example where it says radius. Pay attention to which one they say. Don't be fooled. Remember, you want the radius. So if they give you the radius, you just plug all the numbers that you see. If they give you diameter, you just got to divide it by 2 and then plug them all in. All right. Let me know if you have any questions.